Hey everybody, it's Tallara and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Our last episode was a bit of a dramatic one. We completed Chapter 11, which finally answered the question, is Lao a traitor? Turns out the answer was yes. Unfortunately, Lao stole some very sensitive data and brought it to the Ganglion, which has allowed them to pinpoint the Lifehold. Luckily, after a little persuasion, both through our fists and our words, Lao turned the data over to us, and the higher-ups right now are deciphering it, meaning we might be able to track down the Lifehold soon as well. Some very helpful commenters have told me that there are two main story chapters left, Chapter 12 and Chapter 13, so that means that we are getting very close to the end. I wanted to check here what the requirements are for our next story mission, so let's start off by doing that. Chapter 12, the only requirement is to obtain the Skell flight module, which we did a long time ago. Other than that, the recommended level is 49, which is quite a bit higher than we are right now. We're only level 43 at the moment, so that means we're not going to rush right into Chapter 12. We'll give the higher-ups a bit of time to decipher the data that we've recovered from Lao, and in the meantime, let's do some of these affinity missions. So there are a bunch of affinity missions actually here in the barracks. We have Nagi's Time, we have a Challenger Approaches, we've got 2 peas in a pod, and we've got Fathers and Sons. Now, a lot of these are very high level. Fathers and Sons has a required level of 50, so we're not going to do that one. 2 peas in a pod has a required level of 47. We're pretty close, but not quite there yet, so we're not going to do that one either. However, we could do these two. We could start off with Nagi's Time, which actually has a required level of only level 32. The restricted characters, though, for this mission, my party must consist of only me, Elma, and Lynn, so we can only be a third-person party, meaning poor Irina is getting the boot. I'm sorry, Irina. Bring it up with Nagi, not with me. So let's start today's episode by checking out this affinity mission right over here, titled Nagi's Time.
Someone here to visit.
Is this about a new mission?
Yeah.
What's wrong, Commander? You don't sound like your usual self.
If Mustache Friend have troubles, maybe Tatsu can help.
Right. We're alone here, yeah? Just your team?
Yes, just who you see here.
Okay, then. This mission is sensitive stuff. Need to know for your ears only, etc. Alright?
What is it? Did something happen?
I won't beat around the bush. Nagi's gone missing. It's been 6 hours since we lost contact. He was out inspecting the Lifehold remains we found in Primordia.
Wait a sec. He did not go out there alone.
He had a team of Harriers escorting him. Their last transmission was, in combat with the Ganglion, and then, nothing. Which I'm sure you'll agree does not bode well.
At the same time, we don't want to jump to any conclusions, especially ones that could start a panic.
I don't want to jump to conclusions either, Elma, but at the same time, it's hard to come to any other conclusion. Last transmission 6 hours ago, stating that they were in combat with the Ganglion? I'm a little worried. Do you think something bad might have happened to Nagi?
What? Of course not. He's probably just hunkered down somewhere waiting for backup.
Look, I'll do my best to keep this under wraps while you check it out. But we need you to hurry. Find him.
Understood. We'll leave right away.
Alright, team, this is clearly a very important mission. Poor Nagi. After setting off to inspect a piece of the Lifehold, Secretary Nagi has dropped out of contact. We need to investigate his whereabouts with utmost secrecy. As I said, it's hard not to draw conclusions that he's in trouble. However, I don't know if I'd jump so far as to what Tallara did there either by saying, is he dead? He's certainly in trouble, but hopefully, as Lynn mentioned, he's just hunkered down somewhere. So his last contact was right up here on North Point Beach. We can fast travel there to cut down on our travel time, and then we'll go see him. Obviously, we need to keep this under wraps. The very last thing we need is for New LA to go into a panic because their secretary has gone missing. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in there, we're going to handle this, we're going to get Nagi home, and everything will be a-okay. It's not a very nice beach day up here in North Point Beach. If we were hoping to soak up some rays and maybe have some fun in the sun after this mission was over, well, I don't know if the weather's very conducive to that, unfortunately. There's a ton of smoke over here, so presumably that means we're in the right spot. Oh yeah, a bunch of destroyed ships. Now, where's Nagi and the rest of the crew?
This is where Secretary Nagi's last transmission came from.
Right. His escort team had arrived, and they were engaged with a ganglion here.
But Tatsu not see anyone.
Elma, I'm picking up a residual heat signal. This battle must have went down recently. The signal just spiked. What the heck is going on?
Let's go find out.
Alright, so that's the piece of the life hold right there that Nagi was out here investigating. And, is there something? There must be something going on behind it. You can see smoke there. I'm gonna get my, my swimming on here. I'm not sure how comfortable it would be to swim in sneakers, jeans, and a leather jacket, but anywho, we're doing it. You don't realize how big some of these pieces of our ship were until you're right next to them. Look how big that is. And yeah, something is definitely going down on the little bit of beach just behind. Oh, wait a minute, that's Nagi! Alright, he's not dead after all. That's good news. Step 1, find Nagi, complete. Step 2, let's bring him home.
Is this all you, sir?
It wasn't enough to save them. I lost soldiers. Good ones.
Those Harriers were your escorts, sir. Keeping you alive was their mission. I'm sure they have no regrets.
He never would have let this happen.
With respect, comparing yourself to those who are no longer with us won't get you anywhere, sir.
But Tatsu is glad Secretary is safe. Team Tatsu should hurry and tell Mustache Man.
I suppose you're right. Do me a favor. Head back to the city and file a report on all this.
You're not coming with us, sir?
There's something I need to do first.
Sir. It's nice to be reminded we've got a leader worthy of the position.
Absolutely. It's nice to see a leader actually get out there in the field and get his hands dirty. But at the same time, you can see this is clearly hurting Nagi to have lost so many of his men.
I'll hang on to these until you're all revived.
The weather is really
Rest well, soldiers.
fitting the mood of the scene right now. Wow, that was the easiest affinity mission ever. We found Nagi, he was safe and sound, the end. Nagi's time complete. Secretary Nagi survived, but there were many others who were not so lucky, unfortunately. But we're going to look at this as a glass half full situation. At least Nagi is alright. And we did learn the longsword art, True Stream Edge. So apparently Nagi can now join our party. Cool. He is in the New LA Defense Division. He's the secretary, of course, of Blade. And he's usually found in the administrative district. He was the White Whale's former captain. Nagi is now defense secretary of New LA. He's a plain-spoken individual who looks upon his Blade brethren with warmth. He's also a Iajatsu master and rumored to be the best combatant in all of Blade. Wow. So what you're saying is Nagi's a force to be reckoned with. Seeing as we can't put Lao back in our party anymore, it's nice to have another familiar face in Nagi. He's a duelist, and he is a very high level. You can see he's actually level 45, which is the highest level of any of our comrades. So we're going to add Nagi right into our party. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Girl Squad. Our newest Powerpuff Girl, Secretary Nagi, has joined us. There he is. He fits right in, doesn't he? So, with that, I guess now we'll move on to our next affinity mission. I wanted to do the other one that was in the Blade Barracks. Now, it is a bit high level for us. It's level 46 recommended level. But due to the fact that we now have Nagi, who's level 45, I feel like that tips the scales in our favor a little bit. I'll make sure I put him in a skell so he's not left out when the rest of the girlies suit up. And then we can give this next mission a shot here. I also need to take a minute, obviously, to go through Nagi's loadout, his abilities, and all that. So I'll do all that off screen, and we'll be back in a minute to start our next affinity mission.
Tatsu smell a guest.
Brave friends, I come bearing a mission sure to leave its mark on Mirren history.
I take it from the grand tone we're ready to form an alliance with the Rothians?
That's correct, Colonel. Analysis of the data unit you retrieved is complete. It confirms that the Rothians have cut all ties with the Ganglion. Given that, an alliance between our races would indeed seem to be mutually beneficial. As such, I would ask you to deliver a formal treaty to their leader.
I don't know how they'll respond, but I agree we need to try. We'll do it.
Did the data indicate where the Rothians are based?
Yes and no. We were able to reverse engineer the flight data. We believe they have a base somewhere in Oblivion. Beyond that, however, it gets fuzzy.
Meh. Tatsu can find Kitty Cat Base in no time.
I'll leave it to you then.
Understood. We'll do our best to earn a favorable reply.
Mission accepted. We're gonna go locate the Kitty Cat base. I couldn't have put it any better myself, Tatsu. So far, I've just been basically blind picking these affinity missions, but I think I picked two really good ones. The first one, we got a new ally, and now this one, we're gonna get more allies in the form of the Rothians. Now, the Rothians are the Kitty Cat race that you've probably heard me ooh and ah about in previous episodes. I really like the Rothian. They're one of my favorite alien species that we've encountered. So the fact that we might be able to broker an alliance with them right now is super exciting. This affinity mission is called A Challenger Approaches, and we need to deliver the letter from Director General Chausson and join forces with the Rothians. Alright, let's get right to it. So, apparently they're somewhere in Oblivia. Obviously that doesn't narrow it down a ton. But you know what does narrow it down? This handy-dandy icon on our map. Apparently, if we fast travel to FN Site 315, which is right in the Alexander Ridge area, we might be close to the Kitty Cat base. I wonder if they have scratching posts. Litter boxes? Balls of yarn? Maybe I shouldn't say these things to their face if I want to broker an alliance. Either way, I'm just excited, okay?
Looks like we found the Rothians.
Kitty Cat friends look jumpy. Maybe shoot Tatsu when he approach. So Tatsu strike first.
This is a diplomatic mission. We'll just explain to them that we come in peace.
Hello, kitty cat friends. We come in peace. Please, we just want to pet you.
Halt! Are you aware that this keep belongs to Prince Gacharg?
Yes, we know. We've come to speak with the prince. May we be granted an audience?
The human knows her place, and yet they cannot be trusted.
We've met before.
I am Gob Weed, adjunct to the prince.
We have a letter for His Highness. May we bring it to him?
Do you know the circumstances we Rothians now face, human?
We heard you parted ways with the Ganglion. That's why we're here.
That was His Highness's will, and it is not my place to question. But I know you filled his head with strange ideas. I would not have it happen again.
But listen, it's very important that we see the prince. Don't you guys want to be allies? You're out here now all alone, having broken away from the Ganglion. They can't be too happy about that. I would think you guys would be excited at the prospect of new allies.
That's right. We come with a proposal that can benefit both of our people.
I care not for your opinion on this matter.
Well, that's sucks. What are our two options? We've got say that Gajarg should decide for himself, which I like, or we can drop to our knees and beg. As much as I love kitties, I'm not willing to beg at this juncture, so I'm gonna say that I think Prince Gajarg should decide for himself whether he wants to see us.
Will you at least ask if he'll see us? Please?
No, I'll not see His Highness led astray by your poisoned tongues. If you would force your will this day, you must win that right in combat. Such is the Rothian way.
The Rothians really like to settle things by duels, don't they? I guess at this point, we don't really have any other choice, especially if we're trying to earn the respect of the Rothian people. We can't exactly decline to participate in their way of settling things, so sure, we'll take on your challenge.
Wait, stop!
No, this is our only choice. We're guests of the Rothians. If this is their way, we have no choice but to obey.
Exactly,
Spoken
Elma.
like a true warrior.
I love how Tatsu just turned tail and ran. He was all for the kitty cat people until they pulled out their weapons. And now, this is where the level 46 recommendation for this mission comes into play, because as you can see, this is a pretty powerful team, actually. We've got two level 44 backups, and then the level 46 main gal. But you know what? I'm not counting us out just yet. Nagi is with us today. This is our very first mission with Nagi at our side. We're going to start building up some affinity with him. Obviously, he isn't quite as strong as the rest of the girl squad because he hasn't had the opportunity to level up and get as many abilities as they have. But we'll see if he's good enough to hang with the big girls here today. We've of course got Elma and Lynn with us as well. So hopefully with Nagi being level 45, we'll be alright. Although in saying that, holy moly, these guys are strong. Okay, I took down one of the minions. Zofwar is down, so now I'm going to focus on Zobori. Luckily, Elma, Lynn, and Nagi have sort of been focusing on main kitty while I take down the minions, so as soon as I can get Zobori down, then we can give main kitty everything we've got. Alright, using overdrive, we got Zobori down pretty easily, so now we're gonna give Gabuti everything we got. Is that how we pronounce her name? Gabuti? Is it Booty? General Booty? I feel like I've been extra silly in today's episode. For anyone who's here expecting me to provide serious political commentary and stuff, I apologize. I don't know what's going on with me today. I've got the sillies. It's because of all these kitty cat people. They just bring out the soft, silly side in me. So now we're just gonna make kitty cat jokes and booty jokes for the rest of the episode. You're welcome, by the way. Alright, Gabuti's about 30% down, or has 30% HP remaining, 66% down. Fortunately, Lynn is getting pretty low health, but everyone else is doing good, so I'm feeling confident that we can actually take her down. Hopefully, in doing so, that'll be enough to convince her that, yeah, she should let us through and let us speak to the prince. If I was him, I would be pretty mad, honestly, if my general was out at the front gates not letting anyone through. You'd think he'd want to know what's going on out here. He might be mad at her once he finds out, or maybe this is just what they do to everyone. No one gets to see the prince unless you defeat them in a duel. I mean, that does sound to be the Rothian way, perhaps.
Move in and do some damage. Move in and keep the rhythm going. Side slash. I must him.
Blade flare.
Let my mind be still.
Thermal pulse.
Close it in! Electric surge!
And down she goes! Nice! We may have been under-leveled, but that didn't stop us at all. Good job, team.
You have won my life. Take it now.
I fought for the right to have Gajarg see this treaty, not to take anyone's life.
Bring them to me, please.
But my prince...
These warriors of Earth have followed our traditions and emerged victorious. To deny them now would shame us all.
Your Highness.
Come, humans. I would see this treaty you speak of.
Alright, looks like we've convinced the prince, and by the sounds of that booming voice, perhaps he was watching us all along, just waiting to see how we would do in the duel. Regardless, happy we're finally getting in to see him. Looks like they're set up in some old alien ruins here. Interesting.
I see. You propose that we stand together as enemies of the Ganglion.
Our people don't have any reason to fight each other.
Nopon and humans are best friends now. Even more fun if kitty cats are friends too.
Exactly.
Ah, the purity and innocence of youth.
Fostering that innocence is a part of our duty as adults. It's a responsibility I take seriously.
As do I. The children of Roth live far from this place. It is their future that I fight for.
Your Highness.
You are called Elma, yes? Disgraceful though it may be, I must ask one condition. We lack medicine for our people. If you could aid us in this regard, I would be most grateful.
I have far more respect for a leader who puts his people before his pride.
Yeah, you should be proud of not being too proud, I guess.
Eloquently
Then please
put,
grant
Lynn.
me this boon. Weed can give you the specifics. When the Rothians are back to health, we will stand beside you as allies.
Alright, that does seem fair. They can't necessarily help us out if they're not at full strength. So let's see what exactly they need from us.
Please.
His Highness has made clear his feelings for our people. If you will aid us in this hour of need, then I will pledge my life in allegiance to you and your kind.
Good luck.
I do not regret leaving the ranks of the Ganglion to follow a path I can take pride in as a Rothian, but my decision has placed a weighty burden on our children, as well as those who were hurt in the fighting. And now we are in dire need of medicine. Bring us medical supplies, and you will have our aid. I swear it, on my name as a Rothian. Hi, want to tell me more about the prince? Maybe in a quiet tone so he doesn't overhear us? Has Prince Jar granted you an audience? Mind your manners if so. Our current accommodations may be humble, but all the same, he is the last of the great Rothian royal lineage. Under normal circumstances, not even we generals would be allowed to approach him unbidden. Does this guy have the thickest thighs you've ever seen, or is that just his armor? I think it's the spikes creating an optical illusion. Wow, thick thighs save lives, I guess. Hey, Nizinga. Is anything troubling you, by the way? We can find our own way out of our present difficulties. We do not want your help. Okay, well that goes directly against what your prince just told me, but anyway, I understand. Sometimes pride gets in the way of asking for help. Now, what is it that we actually need to get? Let's take a closer look at the mission details. So we need to obtain 5 medkits, either from the storage supply room in Sylvalum's Halal Stronghold, or from Jeffrey in front of the restricted hangar in the administrative district. I mean, I don't know about you, but it sounds a lot easier if we go speak to Jeffrey. Presumably, Jeffrey's not going to try to kill us, unlike whoever's in that other area, so let's go see. I guess the thing is Jeffrey's probably going to make us pay for them, so maybe that's where the choice comes into play, but we'll see. Last I checked, we had a healthy amount of money, so unless Jeffrey's going to try to gouge us for these kits, which, I mean, hey, he very well may, buying them, I don't think it'll be a bad option, but let's go see. It should be right up here. The sun is setting over New LA, and it looks absolutely freaking beautiful right now. Look at that sky. And there is Jeffrey. Hey, man.
What?
Medicine, eh? And it's organic stuff you're looking for, right? Not something to treat a mimiosome. Well, I can sell you one of the medkits I make. If you need 5, that comes to 100,000 credits. Holy crap! That is a lot of money. Luckily, we have over 600,000 credits right now, so we'll do it. but those things weren't cheap. I think Jeffrey's scamming us. Here you are. I'm happy to hear they'll go towards helping people. Alright, well, that was easy enough. So let's take these med kits now back to the Rothian. Hopefully that'll be all they need to heal their people, and then we'll have some new allies. I wonder if they'll move into New LA, or if they'll stay out here in their current base. I would love it if they moved into New LA with us. It's been such a melting pot of cultures in New LA at the moment. It's actually really fantastic. With all of our alien allies that we met, it makes the streets of New LA so lively walking by and seeing not just humans, but other species as well. So if we could add the Rothian to that, it would be fantastic. And I mean, no offense, they're making do with what they have, but like, this place here is no palace, you know? If I was them, I would probably be jumping at an opportunity to move into New LA, but presumably that is a decision they have to make on their own. Holy crap. Also, look at the sun out here. I was coming out to look at the sunset, but I think the sun's at like a perfect place right now where it is just absolutely blinding me. It's a beautiful view here, though. This really is a great spot that the Rothians found.
Yes?
Hey, what are you doing here? I'm standing guard in case the ganglion or indigents rear their ugly heads. My people need no fancy contraptions. Our senses are so finely honed that should any foe approach, we would realize it immediately. I immediately understood that you had approached our location based on the echoes of your footfalls, for example. Hey,
yes?
Those are some good ears you got there. Is anything troubling you, perchance? What am I to do now? My dear friend has journeyed to a land of death out of a sense of Rothian duty. I do not think I can bear to lose her. Yet to dissuade her from so noble a task would be a breach of Rothian custom and law. I dare not even speak of such feelings to my brethren. But you are human. Would you be so kind as to hear my plea once I've had a moment to gather my thoughts together? Yeah, absolutely. You gather your thoughts, we'll check back in later. The Rothian culture is definitely interesting. It's very much based on a sense of pride and duty and strength in combat. So it seems a little bit inflexible at times, unfortunately, but... Alright. We're back. We've got your medkits.
Thank goodness. Everyone seems so happy.
The bond between Rothians runs deep. Not being able to care for our comrades has been a heavy weight.
Warriors of Earth, you have my thanks for your aid. From this day forth, know that the Rothians stand with you.
Thank you, Your Highness.
However, this pact lives only as long as the Ganglion. Once they expire, so too does this alliance. Mira's a harsh land. Should our survival mean your doom, it must be so.
Dang, I mean, that's kind of a cold way to look at it, but yeah, sure, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, one thing out of a time. If humanity ultimately gets eradicated and goes extinct, well then this conversation won't even matter, will it?
Or burn it if we must.
What? You guys can't be serious.
Mission complete. A challenger approaches. We bargained with the Rothians and eventually forged an alliance. We learned the photon saber art Sky Sunder. And now Lynn's got some news for us. Big news! The Rothians are launching an arms manufacturing unit called 6 Stars here in New LA. I bet they have katanas and ninja stars and a huge samurai stockpile of rad stuff. Head over to the AM terminal in Armory Alley to check them out. To commemorate the alliance between humans and Rothians, there's a new outfit collection on sale, modeled after the stuff Prince Jarg and Gaboody wear. Apparently it's already in shops. I wonder how I'd look in that. Oh, no way! Gajarg can actually join our party? Oh my gosh, this gets better and better. That's 2 new recruits now for our party. Gajarg may be the coolest one yet. Sorry, Nagi. He is a mercenary warlord who can be found in the Rothian stronghold. Leader of the Rothian mercenaries and former prince, Gajarg rejected the Ganglion to side with humans. A believer in loyalty and honor and a true warrior whose virtues impress his people, and his second, Gaboody. That is awesome. I'm so sorry, Nagi. You just joined the girl squad, but guess what? No, actually, we'll keep Nagi in. I was just going to say Nagi's going to get kicked out, but we haven't even gotten one heart of affinity with him yet, and he's pretty close. You know what? Nagi, it's your lucky day. You get to stay in the girl squad a little bit longer. We will kick out Elma instead, so that we can add Gajarg. Man, he is so cool. That is probably the coolest character we've recruited yet. A big, imposing lion who wields a lightsaber, who's called a Galactic Knight. Yeah, I like Gajarg. Alright, so it looks to me like some of the Rothian are going to come to New LA, but they're all not fully relocating there, I don't think, because there's still a bunch of them actually here. Apparently Gajarg is unable to equip casual wear and blade wear, so he just, he said, no, I'm not taking off my armor for nobody, and I mean, fair enough. While we're here, it looks like Nizinga actually has a quest for us, so we may as well try to help out our new allies. What's going on? We march upon Kuldros to smite our long-sworn foe. You, human, you are the vaunted warrior who bested even the blade of our own prince, yes? Your people and mine are joined by blood oath. Will you do us the great honor of joining in this fight? Well, what are you planning to do? After first landing on this planet, many of my fellow Rothians were devoured by the vile Queen Jakul. We go now to slit her belly and retrieve their bones. By custom, vengeance should be claimed by Rothian hands alone, but time and wear have dulled our weapons and shattered our skulls, and those with the skill to repair them met their end in the foul Queen's maw. To go alone would be to die with vengeance unwon, and so it is that I swallow my pride and beg your assistance. Will you march with us to still the breath of the putrid Queen Jakul forever? Sure, yeah. We will not forget this debt. Now, let the hunt begin. This must have been, what the girl from earlier was talking about. Ah, look, the 3 talons. Excellent timing. This fine human will join our hunt, my friends. General, this is a matter for Rothian hands alone. We need enlist no help from outsiders. Well said, brother. We will avenge our father ourselves. We have trained long and hard for that very purpose. No foe can stand against the combined might of Da Naguth, the Cutting Wind, Da Giri, the Thunder Crash, and Da Zelbi, the Boulder Smasher. My siblings and I require no further assistance, least of all from a scrawny outsider. Do they not recognize that their own prince is standing right behind me? I guess not. Look, I'm no Rothian, but I'm gonna do my best. It seems our guest is aware of her limitations, at least. But the foe we face is deadly. An ally without absolute confidence in her abilities is not but a liability. I will hear no squabbling. I know and respect the strength of the 3 talons, but I will not have you die needlessly. May we spar with this warrior you have found before marching on the Queen Jakul, then? Knowing an ally's strength is paramount when trusting them with one's back in battle. If we decide she is more liability than asset, then I must insist that she stays behind. It would not do to lead an ally into certain death. No doubt you wish to know the caliber of those you will be fighting with as well, friend. I mean, when you put it like that, sure. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with you testing me to make sure I don't walk into my death, and nothing wrong with knowing who we're fighting alongside. And rightly so. Then we shall await you atop Stickstone Rise. We shall endeavor to do you no lasting harm, but I advise you to come prepared just the same. Alright, the Queen is Dead is the name of this mission. In order to help the Rothian warriors battle their sworn nemesis, you must first prove yourself by squaring off against the 3 talons. Alright, apparently that got Nagi up to 1 heart of affinity, so that's pretty cool. Now, before we head out, I definitely need to take a look at Gajarg's equipment and his skills and abilities. I also might go back and equip him into a Skell. Seems only fair that he gets a Skell as well if we gave one to Nagi. And then we'll go test our mettle against that trio. Alright, we're all kitted up and now headed off to meet the three Talons. The spot they picked for this duel was actually quite far away from their base. I'm not sure if this is an area that holds significance for them or what the case may be, but good thing we've got our Skells so we can fly right over here. And speaking of Skells, good thing we picked them up because it looks like the three of them have mechs of their own. You have come. Good. Perhaps you will indulge us in talk before we spar. I would share a bit about us. Yeah, sure. Had the Queen Jakul struck our base in Kaldros any other day, we three would have been defending it. But the Ganglion ordered us to depart so that we might attack their enemies. We faced soldiers that day, yes, but also defenseless civilians. None survived. It was disquieting. And at the end of that horrific job, we returned back to base only to find our parents, the General's son, and many others gone, devoured by that demon. The three of us felt certain that our crimes against the innocent had been meted out on our own loved ones in return. And so we swore that this was one battle we would fight together, and alone. I wish you no ill, but you will suffer injuries here that will prevent you from joining this hunt. Dagiri, Dazulbi, are you ready? I will strike down our opponent with the speed and fury of thunder. I will crush stone and bone alike with the weight of my mighty blows. And I will overwhelm you with the grace and swiftness of the wind, for the three Talons are invincible. Now, on guard! I mean, I appreciate that they're upfront and honest about what they're trying to do here, but I'm also not sure how much I like the idea that they're just going to inflict injuries on us to hurt us so badly that we can't follow. From their story there, I understand now why they don't want us to help out, but at the same time, who are you to decline help? This is clearly a cause that's very important to you. You want to get revenge for your parents. Who are you to turn up your nose at any help? Anyway, regardless, luckily they're not as strong as they maybe think they are, because one of them's already down. Their mechs are very interesting looking. Obviously, the Rothians have different technology than the humans, so it's cool to get a look at that. Nagi's Skell was destroyed, but the rest of us are still on board. So far, so good. There we go. That was fairly easy. Enough, human. Enough. We admit defeat. The difference in our abilities is painfully clear. Now we must live not only with the shame of having failed to defend our families, but of lacking the might to avenge them ourselves. Hey, no, look. You are strong. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Yet it was not enough to best you. Still, the Queen Jakul is one foe we must... Look, brother, are those not mortal Jakuls, minions to the Queen herself? What? Since when do they make territory here? What do we do, my brother? My Skell is too damaged from the last match to fight them. Well, I guess that means it's up to us, isn't it? It seems I must ask you to show us your strength once more, Tallara. Will you join us in slaying the vile beast and avenging the family she brought low? Of course we will. You can count on us. Thank you. I am eager for the chance to watch you fight again. Now, we're going into another battle right away. Back-to-back battles. Not ideal, especially considering the fact that we didn't miraculously heal up between fights either. Unfortunately, Nagi is still without a Skell. but we're gonna do what we do best. We're gonna kick some monster butt here. The Rothians are gonna sit by and watch. They're gonna be impressed, and all's gonna be well that ends well. Okay, I'm manifesting it right here. So I gotta be honest, I had no idea what Jakul were, but they are these large bat bird-like monsters, apparently. Now, these are not the queen, though. Looks like these are just minions, I suppose. So presumably, even after we take out these, we'll still have to hunt down the queen. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. One thing at a time here. We're doing all right. They may be big, but they don't have the power of a giant mechanical robot. So I think we've got the edge there. There we go. One left. Like the way you think, Godjard. Cleave them through, indeed. Nice. Good job, folks. Back-to-back battles, no problem for this team. Most impressive, Tallara. It is a great honor to fight alongside one as strong as yourself. I apologize for being a fool all this while. Speak for yourself. Unlike my brothers, human, I am not so easily won over. I will not deny that you have great strength, but it must be us who slay the demon. So know that it will be my hand which delivers the killing blow, and do not stand in my way. Let us return to the general. Then we can formulate our plan for the hunt. Sounds good. Let's get out of here, shall we? It's enough fighting for one day. So, we're gonna go back to the Ganglion base now, which is all the way over here. And it looks like maybe other Rothians, have quests for us as well. We might need to check those out later, but one thing at a time. Let's focus on the Queen Jakul for now. As I mentioned, we just took down her minions, but obviously the main beast still remains. I don't know if the other Rothians will be able to repair their skells in time to actually help us out with that, or what the case may be, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Haha, the three Talons came and asked for the honor of joining you in this hunt, just as I anticipated. Though I am surprised by just how empathetic Da Nugath was, for he is not quick to acknowledge others. He must truly be a rare talent. I mean, I don't think I'm that strong. I'll humbly say that I'm just an average blade. Modesty well befits a warrior, and yet an imposing aura pours forth from you. You cannot hide it. With the combined might of you and the three Talons, even the Queen Jakul is nothing to fear. Now, let us begin the briefing. Our quarry rarely alights on the ground. To lure her down, we must first slay her minions around Kuldros. To do this, we will need to cover considerable ground. You and the Talons will each split up and defeat the minions in your own area. Once the Queen shows herself, the first to sight her will hail the others to that location. When you regroup, you will unite and take her down. A rather loose plan, is it not? Have we no word on her weaknesses? All we have ever seen is her flying away while covered in the blood of our fellows. Beyond that, we have no idea what manner of foe we face. She seems to share the same nature as her minions. Tallara, you have faced their kind before, have you not? You are alone in that. Might you share your experience with us? I gotta be honest, the first time I had ever seen a Jakul was just then when we fought, and now we need to tell them what Jakuls are weak against? Oh, I don't like this. Why isn't there a fourth option where I admit that I don't know? I mean, if I had to guess, I would say electricity because they're flying and I'm using my Pokemon knowledge here, and flying types are weak to electricity, so I mean, I guess we'll go with that. I see. And what manner of attack should we be on the lookout for? Oh god, this is awful! I'm gonna give them the wrong idea about what they're facing here, and they're all gonna die, and it's all gonna be my fault. Oh, this is terrible. This is so terrible. I didn't see them shoot any lasers from their horns when I just fought against them, so I feel like that's out. Did they have gravity attacks? Did they try to charge me with their horns? Oh, God, I don't know. Why are you asking me, people? Maybe gravity attacks. You observed your opponent well in such a short time. That gives us more than enough to go on. Leave the rear guard to me. Very well. We shall depart for Kuldros now, General. Let us smoke out this vile queen and defeat her as one, Tallara. It is time. Aid the three talons and smite this evil that has taken so many Rothian lives. May victory be yours. So up until that conversation, I was really excited to go fight a big monster and make some new friends and all that good stuff. And now I just have this feeling of dread that I led the Rothians astray. I am so sad that I had to give them this info that I didn't actually know anything about. Ugh. Okay, so first part of the plan, we need to lure out the queen. We need to head to Kuldros's Mount Magondo and defeat 3 mortal Jakuls. Now the thing is, apparently Mount Magondo is to the east side of Kuldros, which is an area we haven't explored much, because to get over there, you obviously need to go around the Ganglion base, which up until now I've kind of tried to give a wide berth, but I suppose there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I've gotten this far in. I've presumably given the Rothians a very terrible info. I've got to do what I can now to keep them alive, or this guilt's gonna eat away at me forever. So, we gotta fly right over top of the Ganglion stronghold. I'm sure they don't hate that, right? Right over that way, kind of towards what appears to be an active volcano. Now, the Ganglion do have a lot of air defense forces, but I'm gonna do my best to give them a wide berth. And over here should be where we'll find some Jakul. Oh yeah, here they are. Level 43. There's 3 of them here. Mount Magondo. Alright, let's do this. Now, unfortunately, I forgot that Nagi's mech was out of commission. I probably should have went back to New LA to repair that. But, alas, I'm gonna learn my lesson pretty quick because my scale just got destroyed as well, and now I don't know if I can even fight them all the way up there. Oh, we knocked one to the ground. Okay, cool. I don't know what they just hit me with. It looked like they hit me with electricity, so they must not be weak to electricity. They must be electricity coated. Because they just absolutely wrecked us. Oh yeah, I had all the wrong information. Okay, so for the second time around, I kicked Nagi out of the party, R.I.P. Nagi, and I brought Elma back in. As a combat veteran, I figured she might be better equipped to fighting these things. And so far, that seems to be the right decision. We've already took down one of these guys, and the other 2 are not far behind. It goes to show what a difference it makes when your character is, you know, fully leveled up. Elma obviously has all of her abilities and skills maxed out by this point, versus Nagi, who was so new to the party and still had some learning to do. So putting Elma back in the party was all the edge we needed to take down these guys easily enough this time around. Alright, perfect. So, that was R3 taken out. Hopefully the other crew had just as much success. That must be them now calling. The Queen Jakul is here, but she consumed Da Naguth and Da Zulba. They are dead. Both of my brothers are dead. We fought exactly as you said, but it did not work. None of it worked. What did we do wrong? Oh, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm so sad. I hate that they cornered me into having to tell them exactly what the weaknesses were, and I didn't know them, and I couldn't say I didn't know them, and because of that, 2 people died. I feel so guilty, but at the same time so mad that I was put in that position. I'm so sorry. I was mistaken. It is not your fault. We were wrong to believe it without question. Damnation and ruin. Why did we have to believe the words of a stranger? Ah! She returns. I will lure her to the mouth of Mount Magondo. Getting her there may be all I am able to manage. If so, you must do the rest. Please, human. That thing has stolen all from me. Tear it limb from limb, crush its skull underfoot, and dance upon its lifeless cadaver. Dang. Yeah, at this point, if I wasn't motivated to go kill this thing before, I sure am now. I mean, it's not only killed these guys' parents, now it's killed many of them. There's only one survivor from this poor Rothian family, and it's partly my fault, partly not, because I didn't have a choice to say that I didn't know, but I'm still mad about it. Alright, here she is. This is the Queen Jakul, everybody. And for the umpteenth time, I'm very happy that we have flying skells. I don't know how you would have fought these things if you didn't have skells with flight modules. Basically, at this point in the game, they're like, if you didn't go get your flight module, you're dumb. And you're not going to be able to do any of this. So, always make sure you prioritize getting that flight module. Not only is it obviously insanely cool, but it's also almost required. I mean, it is required, actually, for the next story chapter, chapter 12, so. Anyway, so far so good versus the Queen Jakul. Keep it up, and hopefully we'll get revenge for our poor Rothian friends soon enough. I just knew this was gonna happen. This is honestly pretty epic. 3 skells fighting a giant monster in front of an active volcano. The sky being this orange color. I mean, it doesn't get much more epic than this, that's for sure. And luckily, the Queen Jakul is almost down. Victory is ours. The Queen is dead. Wow. Yeah, that was very, very epic. And now, we need to go tell the Rothians the good yet bad news. We've got a long way to fly back, a long time for me to think about my actions. Clearly, I've got to pay more attention to what sorts of attacks my enemies are using so I don't ever end up in this situation again. It's legitimately raining fire right now. If this isn't the most badass sight I've ever seen, I don't know what is. 4 mechs riding through a big rain of fire. Victory is ours. You have returned alive, and your quarry? Is the Queen Jakul dead? What? The beast is slain, but she killed all 3 of the Talons? Oh, blackest of days. Still, they were warriors all and knew the risks. At least they can rest well, knowing that their slayer met grim justice. Thank you, my friend. This victory is your doing. Please, accept this reward. I lost my own son to that monster. He was their age, and I had come to see the Talons like my own children in the days since. The least I can do now is mourn them as sons and daughter. I will see that they are properly laid to rest. Mission complete. The Queen is dead. We crushed the Queen Jakul alongside the 3 Talons. They suffered casualties, but now the Rothians have one less worry in their lives. Well, that one certainly tastes bittersweet, doesn't it? Oh man, but hey, we're gonna focus on the positive. We recruited 2 new blades to our party today, and perhaps most importantly, welcomed the Rothian race into the Alliance of Humanity. I think this is certainly going to help us out in the future, and I mean, it's nice to have kitties on our side too. I love having the prince in our party. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's kitty cat themed adventures, and we'll be back again soon with some more Xenoblade Chronicles X.